Today is Monday, February 17th. Today is the 51st month anniversary between me and Saria. And guys, I cannot tell you how crazy that is because, man, like, we've just been through so much. And the fact that we're even here is a testament to God's glory. Because Lord knows without him, we would not be here. Anyways, today we have squats. I know off the top of my head, I'm supposed to do a double at 6 to 7. I have been pushing, not like purposely, intentionally overshooting my top doubles. And then for my back downs, I've kind of had progressively higher loads in mind per week, right? So my entire goal is to hit 700 for 8 beltless and sleeveless next week, right? So we're week 3. This is week 3 today. Next week will be week 4. And next Monday is when I'm going to go for the 700 for 8. So that's kind of what's been motivating me and inspiring me and exciting me, most importantly, right? This morning I was 392.6, which is honestly really good because I was not eating the best. Saria made these just chocolate chip banana muffins. I'll post a picture up right here. And oh my gosh, these things were addicting, like downright crazy. Like I literally could not stop eating them. So I'm glad I'm right where I need to be on body weight. For warm-ups, the usual, we're gonna do leg swings, leg kicks, and pigeon pose, and then we'll do quad stretch. And we should probably also do upper back stretch. So yeah, I really don't have a lot to say for today's introduction, except, start time, 12:18. I want to try to finish in about an hour 45 today. Body weight is 392.6. As long as my average weekly body weight is slightly lower every week, we're losing weight. The goal isn't to drop 20 pounds in a month. The goal is to slowly reduce body fat. Those are two different things. Sometimes losing body fat does not always equate to losing weight, right? Those two things are synonymous throughout history. They're pretty much synonymous in any kind of conversation. Right, because it's natural to lose body fat while you're losing weight, but most of the time, if not done correctly, and for most of the cases, you lose muscle mass too. Whereas me, I'm trying to hold on to as much muscle, if not potentially even add muscle, while losing body fat. So my weight loss is going to look a whole lot different than someone who's just trying to drastically lose weight. I'm not in like a cut, I'm in a recomp cut. And I could very well only lose 3 pounds, but have a significantly noticeable difference in my body composition. And that would still be a W for me, right? So that's where my goals and intentions are. But anyways, that's enough yapping. It's time to start warming up and start moving around some weight, guys. And FYI, I hope you guys really enjoy these videos because I'll be staying up to 2 in the morning finishing some of these. So please like, share, and subscribe, and let's get it going. That was good, baby. You see that control, baby? That was smooth, bro. That's good. Oh my gosh, guys. That is 905 pounds for 2. I think this is an all-time pounds PR. The most I've ever done in pounds, I think it was like 885. But that was like 5 years ago. That was honestly not as deep as I'm squatting now. And my Lord, to do 905 with the spring clips and to control this whip to the degree that I did, my Lord, thank you, Jesus. That felt beautiful. It honestly really felt more like a tempo, but that was an instinctive reflex to that set of context. It was a subconscious reaction to the experience that I was under, because it might be hard for you guys to see just how whippy that was, but because I was controlling it so well. But as I was walking it out and as I was hitting the hole, I felt the whip. I felt every single individual vibration, and I nullified most of it. It wasn't like a 100 A++, S++ tier set. It was definitely a beautiful set, but I need to get better than what I just showed just now. This might be the best that I've controlled this much whip. And it's crazy to think that in just 3 weeks of working my core with beltless deadlifts and squats, that it just feels rewarding to be able to tangibly feel the improvement. My Lord, it feels good. But I think what I'm gonna do is I will probably go straight to 675 for 8, and then I will probably drop down from there. But man, does it feel good to do 905 for 2 on pound plates. I don't think I'm gonna go much heavier than this next week. Next week, I honestly might just do, at the very, very most, maybe 945. On the low end, I might do 925. So anywhere between 925 to 945 for my top double next week is what I have in mind, which honestly, if I was on kilos, this probably would have been like an RP and a half better, because I wouldn't have had to tempo it to such a degree. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I also did narrow my base on this. I've been narrowing my base because it honestly feels good. I was just thinking back to my best set of prep last year, but and that was when I hit the 892 for 5. With that technique and that set, I could have hit a world record, easy peasy. But it's just hard to gauge my consistency at times, because sometimes I go out wider, sometimes I go out narrow. But when I went back to watch it and just how I felt, I had a much more narrower base because I naturally push my knees out, right? So when you have a narrow base with maybe like, if straight ahead is 90, maybe like an additional 20 to 25 degrees out, right? You're gonna have a lot more torque coming out of the hole. But it is essential to have the mobility to utilize said torque, because if you can't even squat that deep with the narrow base, then you can't even reap any benefit from squatting narrower, right? Or just playing around with different sweeps. But anyways, we're spending enough time. I'm gonna go straight to the top. I'm gonna rest maybe like a few more minutes, drink some water, and just get straight to 675 for 8. All right, guys, so we just did 675 for 8. That is probably, no, that is most definitely, in my opinion, it is, huh? It is a factual all-time raw dog PR. I don't think I've ever done, this much weight raw dog for any volume, to be honest. Whew. So I'm gonna drop down to 5 plates for my first set. Well, my second set, first drop set. And then depending on how that feels, I might go up 50 pounds to 545. But we still have 2 more sets of 8. If you guys are wondering what in the world is going on, I have acquired a suction cup of sorts to put my camera on so that I can have just a different setting to record in, and sometimes when I'm driving it's just a different set of thoughts come out, right? It's just the hum of the engine beating your truck. There's just something special about a boy's truck, man's truck. But you know, just to kind of give a quick recap about today's training session. Worked up to 905 for 2 on a top double. That's like an all-time pounds PR. And then I went straight to 675 for 8. That honestly felt pretty solid. I know that 700 for 8 is going to be a grind. Maybe not a grind. Maybe a grind is an overstatement. But I know that I'm going to have to lock in. Right? It's just 25 pounds more than what I did today. But I've never done it before. So honestly, I'm very excited. And that was one of the things that I was talking to Mikey about, was that it's nice being able to essentially have something to look forward to, right? Because right now I'm in a volume phase where I'm not using a belt or sleeves for my back downs, and it feels good. Like, this is the best my core has ever felt. I think if I had tried to do 905 for 2 on pound plates a month ago, before Sheffield, I think that would have been, honestly, I don't even know if I would have had the courage or the confidence to go ahead with that second rep, because I told Mikey after that there was a moment where I considered racking it after that first set because it was whipping significantly, you know, like it was whipping pretty significantly, and I didn't want to be in a situation where something bad happened, right? But I told myself after that first one, like, I was having this internal dialogue, and I was like, Jesus, if you really want to get better, you have to do this second rep, and you have to do it the way it needs to be. right? So I composed myself. I braced. I breathed. I braced, and I controlled that weight all the way down into the hole, baby. I freaking rocked both those reps. Those were deep. I know those were deep because my stance was more narrow, and when I squat more narrow, my range of motion is like substantially longer. I have an easier time like bending my knees, bending my hips, and it's a smoother time hitting the hole. I was listening to a song that has been one of my go-to songs because when I listen to it, it makes me think about my son. And in that moment, I was just thinking about my son. And guys, I can't tell you how much I love that little bugger, how much he means to me. It's There's no word for it. There is no word for it. So we got it done. We did 905 for 2, and then we went straight to 675. I manned it up. Beautiful deep reps, control, the whole 9 yards, and then I dropped down to 495 for set number 2 of 8, and then we called it. And then I did 4 sets of leg extension, and that was a wrap. So pretty straightforward day. Probably spent about an hour longer than I needed to, but that's something that we're going to continue to work on. And another good day today, like now I got to go home, got to go ahead and get this video edited, and then do some work, get back to my athletes, think of ideas, create some content, and I got a whole lot of stuff that I want to do this year. But yeah, so anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know how you guys feel about this outro style, because it honestly makes me feel a little nervous having a expensive camera suction cup to my windshield, especially in San Antonio traffic at this time of day. These people do not know how to drive. So I hope you guys are having a blessed day. I hope you guys are going to have a tremendous start to y'all's training week. And I will catch you guys next time.